People Station V103, the ATL's number one for hip hop and R&B. It is the home of the Ryan Kevin Morning Show with Wanda Smith. Young lady. In the studio with us right now, we have Ambassador Andrew Young.
I know.
A good friend of the show.
Legend.
How you doing today?
I'm all right.
Yeah? All is well?
All is well.
Now, we were just talking a little bit off the air because you just turned 85?
Yep.
Wow.
How do you feel?
I feel good. And,
But why are people asking you about planning for your own
well, you
funeral?
know, every time I went to Chief Pennington's funeral, and it was, I mean, he was just 71. And every time I go to somebody's funeral, and a lot of my friends are dying,
Right.
they say, "Are you making plans for your funeral?" I say, "Hell no."
Hell to the no. Tell them hell to the no. They're asking you that?
They asked me that. And I said, you know, I don't want a funeral. I said, if something happened to me,
Yeah.
all of my preacher friends from all over the country would come in there and they'd preach for about 10 hours and everybody get disgusted with me and them too. So I said, I want to have a party.
Right.
And I said, I plan to make it maybe another 15 years from 85, but I got at least 15 years of work to do.
Right.
And if I don't make it, I need to lay it out for somebody else to continue doing it. And so we thought we ought to have I was sworn in as mayor at the Omni
Yeah.
in 1981, 82. And I said, now this is a nice length of time that we could go back to the Phillips Arena now
Yeah.
and really have a lot of the people who have worked with me, who have made this city grow. I mean,
Right.
we were less than 1 million people just about 1982.
Right.
And we built the first, that was the airport just opened that December in 1982, and the Olympics has come and gone, and this city has just changed so dramatically. And I thought that it would be good for people to hopefully just realize that none of this was accidental.
Right.
That we've had a really good run from, well, really, I start back with Ivan Allen and Maynard Jackson and Sam Massell.
Yeah. There's a picture that shows that was in the AJC the other day. It showed you, Ivan Allen, Maynard Jackson. I think Bill Campbell was in it. Yeah, that was quite
Bill
a picture.
Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a good run in this city, and it's people are doing, the people who were here working and people who came here to work and got jobs
Right.
have all done very, very well.
Right.
And that doesn't mean we have all of the problems solved, but it means that we've come a long way, and we did some impossible things. See, like when I first said to the banking community, we couldn't make it if we were just getting money from Washington.
Right.
Because Washington didn't have money, Reagan wasn't giving money to the cities. And I said, you know, we got to get money overseas, and we have to become an international city. Well, they said, where did that crazy nut come from? Mayors are not supposed to talk like that, but that's where the money was. And because I'd been at the UN, I knew where the money was.
Right.
So we brought it in here. And in the 8 years I was mayor, we brought in $70 billion worth of private investment.
Wow.
1,100 companies moved here, and over 1 million jobs were created. Now, that was just for starters. That has virtually continued.
Right.
In fact, Kasim seems to have been doing better than that right now.
You said the footprint for that to happen, though, that mayors have to go outside of their own city limits to get to not only lure but entice those businesses to come to this city.
Well, and you can't grow a city on just taxing local people.
Right.
And we figured out how to, well, I was looking the other day, and the U.S. government budget is just $20 trillion. And it's $18 trillion in debt. On Wall Street, they have $71 trillion. And they don't know what to do with it half the time. And so Maynard learned to pick up the phone and call Wall Street and say, we needed so much to do such and such for the airport. I did that with the first international terminal. Shirley said, well, I'm going to have to be the sewer mayor, but there's no money in Washington for sewers, so we went to Wall Street for the sewers. And so it's just been, and then the private money. Like there are now over 2,500 German companies in the metropolitan Atlanta area.
Wow.
And I don't know what the statistics are, but I know that we are growing when most people are dying. And trying to figure out how to get other cities, because basically what's happening is people sending their problems to us.
Right.
And so I'm anxious to keep them where they are, but also to help other cities grow, because it's not magic that we're doing. We've kind of worked at this steadily for 40, 50 years.
Right.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the party and tell people, of course, they can get tickets. They go on sale. They're already on sale at Ticketmaster.com.
I just say, everybody that will want to come to my funeral and cry, come to my party and have a good time. You got Anthony Anderson. He's going to be hosting. He's going to be a crack up. And, of course, Usher and Jill Scott are going to be paying tribute to you. It's going to be quite a shindig going down. So when we come back, we're going to talk more with Ambassador Andrew Young and, of course, get his thoughts on the mayor's race, because he hadn't really said it. I want to hear what he got to say.
I want to hear what he got to say, too.
What he got to say 8:09 right now. We look at traffic, see what's happening as the bridge is back. People are flowing on the bridge. And ask the ambassador about the bridge, too. Ambassador Andrew Young, studio, former mayor, 85th birthday. Tickets are on sale right now. Not only is he going to have Anthony Anderson hosting, but he also have Wyclef, Usher, Jill Scott. It's going to be at Phillips Arena. Tickets are on sale right now at all Ticketmaster locations, Ticketmaster.com. When we went to break, I was asking you, when you ran for mayor, and what we've seen with a lot of mayors, there wasn't this number of millions and millions of dollars spent on political ads or people waiting until the very end to try to kind of ambush voters and all of a sudden try to turn the election. It's made.
You know what the difference was?
What's the difference?
The mayor's salary was $50,000 a year.
Okay.
And nobody wanted it. And I didn't want it either.
Right.
But if we hadn't, well, you remember Miss Susie Laborde? Miss Susie Laborde was the head of the senior citizens high-rise.
Right.
And she came into a meeting that Maynard called, and she stopped right in front of me, and she said, "Look here, boy." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "When you came here, you wasn't nothing. And we done made you somebody. And now you too busy to come to help us?" I said, "No, ma'am, I'm not." I said, "But I've been in civil rights and Congress, and I said, I have 3 kids going to college, and I can't afford to live on." She said, "You can't. Well, we done wasted our time on you."
Wow.
And she turned around and slammed the door, and I said, "Oh, Lord." I had to run for mayor. And I ran for mayor because we had to keep this city going.
Right.
We don't know how important, there's no other city that quite has the kind of money. I mean, the airport generates almost $40 billion every year.
Wow. Do it, ATL.
And it's 104 million passengers go through there.
Right.
But when we were designing that, we figured if everybody went through there and spent $10, that's a whole lot of money.
That's a lot of money, right?
And so when you go through that airport, everybody looks like us.
Right.
And that is not an accident. We had to work to make that happen. But because of that airport, everybody else is growing.
Right.
Every bank, every insurance company, every retailer. Arthur Blank and Bernie Marcus came here, and they say they were broke when they came here in 1981. But the city reached out to them, brought them in. They had a great idea with Home Depot. And not only, by the time I got through with politics, they were retiring and had bought the football team, built the aquarium, and gave all kinds of money to every charitable institution in town. And they were really good citizens, and still are. Now we got a soccer team.
Right.
And but I'm saying that we created a wholesome economic environment
Right.
that involved everybody.
And that seems to be a theme of a lot of the different candidates now. You know, I saw one slogan that said, you know, everybody's mayor, or the mayor for all citizens, where they're trying to be all encompassing as opposed to trying to make it one specific type of, you know, specific person. Like, you know, this is the black mayor, or this is going to be a, like, do you think is it up for grabs? Can anybody win?
Well, I think that's always the case. And I told Kasim when he was in college that he ought to come back here and run for mayor. So when he came back and ran and Caesar was running, I said, no, you all shouldn't run against each other. You wait until next time, and I'll support you next time.
Right. Is that what needs to happen now? Because it seems like there's, it's like
too
18
many
candidates.
Right.
Well, yeah, and it's very complicated. But I've asked everybody that, including Caesar, I'm supporting him, but I said, Caesar, you have to have a vision. I said, where there's no vision, the people perish. We have to have a clear vision of where this city needs to go and what we need to do. And I said, I can't do that for you. Nobody can do that. You have to search your own soul.
Right.
And I have not heard a single one of these many candidates
That's what we were saying.
with a vision
Yep, we said the same
that
thing.
I'm ready to buy into.
Why is that?
Well, I think that remember, it's not easy. Ted Kennedy was running for president. He had plenty of money. Everybody knew who he was. He was looking good until Roger Mudd on 60 Minutes asked him, why do you want to be president?
Right.
And he didn't have a 90-second answer. You got to have an answer to why do you want this job? Because it's not an easy job.
Right.
And actually, it was better for me than for most people because we kept growing. We were at the bottom in many ways. I mean, like the zoo. The zoo was the worst zoo in the world.
Right.
And we now are one of the top 10. We moved, Maynard started with the cyclorama. And we've now moved the cyclorama out to the History Center. We're doing very well with the parks. The Beltline is great. This is a great city.
You know, I wanted to ask a question. Brian and I sit here and we were talking about all the situations that's going on with our roads here in Atlanta. And I know I moved here in like 91 and I didn't see this many people here. But, you know, now it's 2017 and it's, oh my God, I sit back and I look at the traffic and the infrastructure and all these roads and all these buildings and apartments and stores. And are we really prepared for all these people that constantly move here and there is no road to travel on?
We were prepared. Remember, we had an outer perimeter that was to go 60 miles outside of from the center of the city. The perimeter is 30 miles, 30 to 35 miles. We had another plot of land, 60 miles, 65 miles north, that would have sent a lot of the truck traffic around Atlanta.
Yes.
Right? And the Republicans sold that land and didn't want it. Now nobody expected this city to grow to 6 million. We would be a perfect city at 2 to 3 billion.
Right.
And but when we've doubled that, and that means we have to double the school opportunities, we have to double the recreation opportunities, double the job opportunities, as well as housing. Now, the housing that's going up.
We got housing. I still think we have.
No, we don't have housing. I could not afford the housing that's going up. I mean,
you're saying as far as expenses.
I bought my house for $32,000.
Oh Lord!
You know, in 1966, and it's been there when my first wife died after 40 years of marriage, and my second wife, people were saying, "He's not gonna make you live in that house. You're gonna have to buy her a new house." I said, "Look, I never made any money. I didn't. I mean, I made the mayor's salary. Martin Luther King paid us $6,000 a year. See, I didn't get any money for the Olympics because Tom Bradley said, in order to see to it that everybody else gets their share, you have to not do that. And so it's not been easy, and still everybody. Well, I think one of the things that has us up for grabs now is all of these rumors about who's being investigated and all of this sort of stuff. I have not believed that this was a corrupt city. So that if anybody's paying kickbacks, it's because they want to, not because they need to. That there are cities where you cannot do business unless you pay somebody off. We never had that here, and the business is still coming here. And so I know that the businesses are not, I mean, this city has a good reputation still, but all of this rumor and investigation, compromises that reputation somewhat.
8:28 right now. Well, we want to wish you a happy birthday. And
you have to go
we look
to this
forward
party.
to your big party happening.
Absolutely.
And please come on out. There are a whole variety of seats. And I just wanted to have it an opportunity not only to celebrate my birthday, but to lay out the things that we still have to do. One of the things we can do for this city is we can move some of the people back to smaller towns. There's no reason why many of them came here and from smaller towns. They've been to the military. Do they need to come back here? The best place in America to raise a child is rural South, where we got air conditioning and integration.
8:29 right now. Ambassador Andrew Young, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. We really appreciate it.
Tickets, everybody.
Glad to see you. You know we love you very much. You know that.
Yes, we do.
Thanks a lot.